G'day, Charlie Pryde here, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Pride of the Villages. If you've been following our channel, then you know I like to fish and have done a number of videos on saltwater fishing around Florida, to include several trips with the Villages Deep Sea Fishing Club. Now, I don't freshwater fish a lot, but when we lived in Tampa, I did fish the residential ponds and lakes near our home, which, being a master planned community, was similar to the ponds and lakes around the villages. So I thought I would do a video on freshwater fishing in and around the villages. So starting with three important references where you can get more information than I can possibly provide in a short video. First is the villages.net at the Recreation Department tab. This is where you will find these fishing guidelines for the villages. First item to highlight is what areas are available to fish and what is prohibited. Fishermen may fish any lake, canal, or stream, whether natural or man-made, which can be reached without crossing over or trespassing upon any privately owned property or golf courses. However, fishermen are prohibited to fish in Lake Sumter, Harmswood, or other areas with no fishing signs posted. So as you are on the boardwalk at Lake Sumter and you look into the water and see all these fish, just note that you are not allowed to fish there as these signs are posted. Nevertheless, the website has three maps which highlight recommended locations to fish in the villages. The maps break down north to south based on major east-west running roads. Catch and release fishing is encouraged. To me, this is a no-brainer. Not sure why you would want to keep fish to eat out of the village's retention ponds. These ponds get their water source from storm runoff through the drains in the street, which includes all the fertilizers and pesticides that get sprayed on lawns. So best just to release back what you catch. There is an abundance of wildlife in the water body. Any fishing or recreational use in the area is at the discretion and sole use of the risk of the user. Just be aware that there are alligators in our ponds and lakes in the villages, and fish is part of their normal diet and may be attracted to your catch. Last is a really important item and a segue into my next reference, and that is to ensure that you comply with all federal, state, and local laws, statutes, and ordinances while fishing within the boundaries of the villages. The state requires fishing licenses for those 16 years of age or older, so visiting grandchildren under 16 years of age, now license is not required. Also, you are exempt from having a Florida fishing license if you are over the 65 years of age or older and a full-time resident of Florida in possession of a Florida's driver's license or identification card to prove your residency and your age. For more information on licensing requirements, you'll want to visit myfwc.com. The MyFWC website is the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, which manages and regulates the state's fish and wildlife resources and enforces related laws. FWC officers have full police powers and statewide jurisdiction. The MyFWC website has all the current regulations for freshwater fishing, to include license requirements and exemptions. Fishing regulations are also available in hard copy at a number of outlets, one of which I will discuss in a minute. The final reference is the website for the Villages Freshwater Fishing Club. As we used to say in the military, this is where you get the good gouge or the insider information on fishing the villages. Villagers readily share information on their catch, to include size, location, and what bait was used. Also, they have a lot of information on fishing outside of the villages, to include the abundance of lakes in the area. So check out their website for the latest gouge. While on their website, one thing becomes clear, and that is when it comes to catch and release freshwater fishing in the villages, the largemouth bass is king. The largemouth bass is one of 4 species of black bass in Florida, and they can get really big here. If you are a bass fisherman, then we have a hidden gem just south of the villages in Sumter County, located just 20 minutes past the intersection of Florida Highways 50 and 301 on County Road 7088 in Webster, is the Florida Bass Conservation Center at the Rick Lum State Fish Hatchery, and it's been there since 1965. It's a place where those who love fishing can learn about the repopulation of fish that swim in the local lakes and ponds. The center is open to the public free of charge, Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Although there are several species of bass in the state of Florida, the Bass Conservation Center raises only one to restock Florida's lakes and ponds, the Florida largemouth bass. The hatchery also raises several other freshwater species to include catfish, crappie, bluegill, and sunfish. The hatchery is capable of producing a whopping 6 million fish every year, and that equals a lot of happy freshwater anglers across the state of Florida. In addition to supplying various types of fish, the center also conducts research on aquaculture methods. When you visit the Florida Bass Conservation Center, there's a wealth of educational information, everything from the 10 Commandments on how to release a bass to a display of winners in the Trophy Catch program. The upstairs visitor center includes an exhibit area showcasing a 1,700-gallon aquarium, as well as an interpretive center overlooking the hatchery, the production tank area. This area is where you can learn the stages of breeding Florida largemouth bass. You can see up close the concrete and fiberglass raceways, labs, and other hatchery equipment. Another essential part of the hatchery is the back of the center. 180 acres sectioned within the Withlacoochee State Forest that encompasses 65 ponds that are used to breed the different freshwater species. There are also 2 designated fishing ponds located on the property for public to enjoy catch and release fishing. So that's freshwater fishing here in the Villages. Just a couple points that I brought out. Make sure that you know all the legal requirements, not only for the state's rules and regulations, but also the rules here in the Villages. And also check out the Freshwater Fishing Club website, because those guys have been fishing here a long time, and they know what works as far as baits and where to go. And I will just say that when it comes to retention ponds here in the Villages, typically the older ponds that are well established, those ponds further north, are much better than ponds here down in the south, which have recently been built. These ponds take a while to get established and for the fish to populate in there. So this is a great place to fish, especially if you have visiting grandkids. And also take a look at the Florida Bass Conservation Center down there in Webster. It's quite a gem if that's the type of thing that you're really interested in. And while you're at the center, you can pick up a hard copy of the freshwater fishing regulations. They have plenty of copies of that, as well as I just refer to these as law sticks, but what they are is they're measuring tapes that you can either attach to your boat or keep in your tackle box, and it gives you the ability to check the length of the fish, and also written on here are the regulatory requirements, size limits for each one. So 2 good references that you can pick up there at the Conservation Center. So that's all for this video. We'll see you in the next one.